The obvious question people ask is, what makes Great Lakes so unique? And of course, we have great faculty, we got wonderful staff members out here, we got wonderful students. But what we do over here in Great Lakes in Chennai is something so unique, something so different that cannot be replicated in any part of the country.
Karma Yoga is a mental discipline which allows one to carry out one's duties as a service to the entire world, as a path to enlightenment. Great Lakes Institute of Management was founded by Dr. Bala V. Balachandran, Padma Shri awardee of the Indian government. His valuable services in higher education for the country, with the goal of providing world-class management education at affordable cost.
Welcome to Great Lakes family, located at a wonderful village called Manamai in this Kanjivaram district. It is really a remarkable thing for me, a person coming from a village called Pudupatti near Pudukkottai, to think about a graduate education. But at the same time, I really feel the base of the pyramid of India is in the rural villages. So when we were exploring where we should locate our permanent campus, a platinum rated green campus, it dawned on to me to think only one thing: put our campus in the midst of villages.
The Great Lakes Institute believes in fostering managerial leadership along with social responsibility within their students, and it begins here with the unique program Karma Yoga.
If our students, who are generally going to be the great leaders of the future and getting with a very good MBA, which is a top rated, top 5 school even, has to understand what is India to lead, they have to live in the village vicinity. This is exactly why Mahatma Gandhi, when he came here, he removed his 3-piece suit and wore a normal dress of a villager and traveled in a train in what is called as then a 3rd class.
Karma Yoga, a leadership experiential project, is an integral part of postgraduate management and postgraduate diploma in management at Great Lakes.
Like everybody else, the moment I joined Great Lakes, I was very inquisitive about what Karma Yoga is and what we had to do there.
To begin with, this is compulsory for all the students in the first couple of terms, after which it's a voluntary exercise.
When I got the Great Lakes brochure 1 year ago, I was excited to see the page titled Leadership Experiential Program Karma Yoga. During that time, I was an active member of NGO that was providing quality education to the children in and around Chennai. And the thought that I could continue doing the same thing even after joining my MBA kind of excited me.
So what is Karma Yoga? Just like how you cannot teach someone to swim in a classroom, you cannot teach leadership in a classroom.
Karma Yoga enhances the student's ability to connect with ground realities and experience transformational leadership.
So Karma Yoga is all about teaching students the whole idea of transformational leadership. We tell people in Great Lakes, it's not about just making people budding managers over here. It's about trying to make the students transform their lives, transform them to a person that they can be a much better individual when they leave campus. So that's Karma Yoga.
It is a unique medium to connect to the ground realities, to learn the art of transformational leadership.
Students add value to the ecosystem by looking at what the capabilities of that particular village is and whether those capabilities could be exploited to make the village self-sufficient. As far as the students are concerned, by and large, most of our students come from the urban environs. Many of them have not exposed to rural life. This gives them a very first-hand experience of what the rural life is. Besides, also to inculcate a sense of social responsibility.
Somewhere inside me, I always feel happy by helping the less fortunate. Before coming to Great Lakes, I was going through the prospects of Great Lakes, and I found that there is an experiential leadership program called Karma Yoga in Great Lakes. This is also one of the reasons why I have applied for Great Lakes.
How Karma Yoga works. Every Sunday, a well-planned visit is scheduled to these villages to focus on their prime needs. Students form small groups, and each group is allotted to a specific village. The institution is proud to claim that there are 24 villages around the campus that have been served by the Karma Yoga project.
I was wondering what I'm going to do in the Karma Yoga. When I went for the first visit, I was very sure that I'm going to do some social service. But Karma Yoga is not a social service. It is something more than that.
Karma Yoga has been a very grounding experience on the whole. We have had a lot of initiatives in the village right from day one. So we had a self-help group initiative to engage them, to involve them and try and find out what their requirements are.
Every student in their respective group accepts their duty-bound village not as an obligation, but as a responsibility.
Our first challenge was that we didn't have any Tamil speaking people in our group, and in the villages people only knew Tamil.
Whenever we conducted an event, even though they didn't know English and we didn't know Tamil, we used to connect a lot.
Their journey to make their responsibility a really big commitment promises growth to all of these villages.
Learning is combined with the values of life, where you need to care for the fellow human beings in a holistic way with social responsibility.
Start interacting with people, learning to understand what are the real problems, because the major chunk of Indian population stays in villages, and if the problem of villages is not solved, then what are we here for? So that was the main learning that I got from this Karma Yoga initiative.
A baseline survey is conducted to understand the needs of the village by each student's team.
Karma Yoga is not giving a fish to a needy, but it's about teaching them how to fish.
கிராம மக்களுக்கு இவங்க மேல ஒரு நம்பிக்கை வருது. ஒவ்வொரு வருஷமும் இவங்க போயிட்டு அவங்களுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணும்போது அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நம்பிக்கை வருது. கிரேட் லேக்ஸ்ல இருந்து நமக்கு ஒரு நல்லது பண்ண வராங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரச்சனைகள்ன்றதை தெளிவா சொல்றாங்க. அதனால எங்க பசங்க அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு ஹெல்ப் பண்ண முடியுமோ they are doing it.
Such a survey provides them with up-to-date information about the problems and potentials of the village and helps the group to start a solution.
Focus of Karma Yoga has always been women empowerment and self-independence for villagers. With this aspect in mind, we conducted a workshop last year and invited women from different villages. Around 90 plus women from different villages came for this workshop. In this workshop, they were taught handicraft, making handicraft items. Through this workshop, women have become self-reliant and self-independent and have been helping their family by earning money by selling these gift items. This campaign has been very successful and we are planning to have it again in few weeks in Kunnathur village.
We had a general health camp, we had an eye camp, and we also had a bone density check that day. Now what we had to do is we had to go door to door campaigning and asking people to come and attend. What was really enriching was around 190 people had turned up that day. Most of them were really old people who came from very abject. It was really moving that you could have some impact on their lives.
This applied fieldwork will help the students to increase their analytical ability and deepen their thinking to contribute better to their studies. Karma Yoga is a real-life practical lab to test the classroom learning and experience the power of transformational leadership.
When the curriculum is field tested off the campus, exposing you to the prevailing conditions of the communities, the students have the opportunity to learn experientially, and they can emerge as good leaders with much responsibility.
The whole purpose of Karma Yoga is for this 20% of the people to realize that they are the privileged lot, that they must be in a position to share their space, their time, their money possibly, so that the people who are downtrodden, who are having problems in life, can be helped.
Activities focused on. The major activities focused on in all the 24 villages are education, employment, health and sanitation, environment and farming. To create the socio-economic balance among the communities, the students work with the children, women and the farmers to create awareness on health, literacy, vocational skills and entrepreneurial abilities through teaching, training and conducting health and sanitation camps.
In Karma Yoga, we did face a lot of challenges. But we utilized the first few weeks of our visits to build a very strong rapport with the children as well as with the villagers. So ever since then, we have never faced any challenges. We also share a very mutual respect, and we respect the villagers for what they are, and they always respect us for what we do.
The Karma Yoga leaders focus their support on livelihood-related activities, such as kitchen garden cultivation, craft workshops, environmental awareness campaigns, games and sports meets.
Another initiative that we have taken is the kitchen garden initiative, which is mainly providing the villagers a sustainable way in which they can grow their own food, and to that extent they can save that money that goes into buying these vegetables.
வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 10-15 குடும்பங்கள் வந்து இன்னைக்கு அவங்களுடைய சொந்த குடும்பத்துக்கு தேவையான காய்கறி உற்பத்தி பண்ற தகுதியை வந்து நீங்க சொல்லி வில்லேஜ்ல இருக்கிற மக்களை புரிஞ்சிக்கின அதை ஏத்துக்கின செஞ்சதுக்கு ரொம்ப நான் பெருமைப்படுறேன் உங்க காலேஜ் மூலமா.
We'd actually harvest, and all that was a very good experience, the farming of it experience. And 2 weeks after that, when we went to the village, we could see these small crops that had come up, and to know that that is our initiative and something that we have contributed to their household.
இந்த கார்டன் வச்சதுனால இப்போ அவங்களுக்கு அந்த 100 rupees அவங்களுக்கு மிச்சம் தானே, இல்லைன்னா கடையில் கொடுத்து வெளியில் மார்க்கெட்டில் கொடுத்து வாங்கின்னு வரணும்.
நல்லா கிராமத்தில் இருக்க எல்லா வீடுகளுக்கும் நாங்கள் இந்த விதைகளை கொடுத்து இந்த கிராமத்தையே பசுமை கிராமமாக மாற்றுவோம்.
எங்கள் கிராமத்தை தேர்ந்தெடுத்ததுக்கு நாங்கள் வந்து தலைவர்ன்ற முறையில் உங்களுக்கு தான் நான் நன்றியை சொல்லணும்.
As the receiver smiles, the givers discover themselves as servant leaders, while serving the deserving and needy, and realize that the true purpose and meaning of being a leader is to serve the followers.
Who's the father of the nation? Mohandas? Mohandas! Karamchand? Karamchand! Gandhi? Gandhi!
More than 1,000 children surround our visiting students every week to learn English and other subjects in all the adopted villages.
பின்தங்கிய நிலையில் இருக்கிறதுனால கிட்டத்தட்ட அவங்களோட அந்த கல்வி சுமையை வந்து அவங்களால கொண்டு செல்ல முடியல. மேலும் வந்து கல்வி விழிப்புணர்ச்சியும் அதிகமாக இல்லை. அண்ட் ஐ ஹவ் ஃபவுண்ட் தட் there is a tremendous increase in the school going students. இதுக்கெல்லாம் முக்கியமான காரணம் வந்து நம்ம கிரேட் லேக்ஸில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த கர்மயோகா அப்படிங்கிற டீம் தான்.
Transformed leaders.
I think this is a great thing that I am able to see that Karma Yoga transforms people for a social shared responsibility and a leadership, a responsible freedom which our forefathers gave it to us. And we are trying to do this stuff in a very congenial team atmosphere.
Adding Karma Yoga, a leadership experiential program, as a form of selfless service is a good opportunity for a student to practice this essential human need of caring and sharing with compassion.
You've got to identify yourself. So therefore, if we believe in passion but with compassion, it can happen only if our students understand what is called as caring and sharing. And I believe the most important USP is to understand, applaud, and how we integrate ourselves within the vicinity of a major set of villages, and at the same time spending a lot of time, and not only with the students but with the entire villages.
As a VC of a village, I got an opportunity to lead a team. Second, bonding. Now when we have to go into the village and face so many challenges, team bonding is a must. Self-satisfaction. When we go into the villages, we conduct so many events, we help the villagers. So down the line we get a feeling of self-satisfaction that we are giving back to the society.
It has multiple reasons, in the sense that we add value to the village ecosystem, the villages benefit, as far as the students are concerned, they get exposed to the rural life, and also this concept of giving back something to the society. I think to my mind that is the biggest take.
I've learned many things which will definitely come to use in my future management career. For example, first thing I learned was how to overcome my language and cultural barrier. We interacted with kids who knew purely Tamil, and I for one did not know Tamil at all. Still, it never came as a barrier because the kind of interaction through body language we had with each other was amazing.
My commitment to Karma Yoga is double bold because I was born in a village, I was raised in a village, and also I believe India's development should be cared and it should be nurtured based on the development of the villages.
We're very proud of the process that our students engage in. We are very privileged that we can give back a little bit to the world around us, and we hope to be good citizens of this community. So we are honored to be part of the Karma Yoga project.
What makes such experiences valuable are the challenges they present to the great visionary like our founder and dean, Dr. Bala, who founded this centre of learning at the age of 68, with only the motto of giving back to society.
I am so pleased that this has been happening, and I am also pleased to tell you that in the next decade this is going to be even stronger, and this kind of camaraderie and collegiality between the villagers and urbanites, so that the villagers are in creating an urban location in the villages are possible, and this Karma Yoga creates an ambience of camaraderie and an ambience of co-citizenship existing together as one team, undivided and united.
Every student comes to say how worthwhile they feel after their precious time was spent in this most valuable way.
So even though the impact that we had made so far has been very small, this trend, if it's going to continue, will make a very big impact in the future.
For me personally, the key takeaway from this whole Karma Yoga program has been, being able to have an impact on someone's life in a positive way.
So overall, this journey has been totally worth it. I've learned a lot in the terms of not only subjective knowledge that I gained, but also the practicality of it.
whatever ladder you climb up in your career, it's very important to give back to the society in some form. This is one thing which I'm very satisfied about it.
I'm pretty sure I'm making a difference to the society, and that makes me proud to be part of Karma Yoga.
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 Karma Yoga
is my responsibility.
Patience.
Leadership.
Transforming vision into reality.
Understanding rural India.
A holistic experience.
Perseverance.
Path to enlightenment.
Making a difference to the society.
Giving without expectations.
Self-exploration. Understanding the ground reality.
Learning experience, sharing happiness, personal satisfaction.
It is our conviction that this bonding relationship between Great Lakes and the community is forever, and Karma Yoga shall continue to go from strength to strength. Jai Hind.